Hello, this is Cornelius Henderson, Managing Partner of DC Metro Home Buyers. We're going to be talking about how to locate motivated sellers by using properties that are for rent. It's a unique strategy. Make sure you listen to it because I promise you we're doing stuff that nobody else is doing or talking about. I really like to focus on really cheap and inexpensive ways to locate motivated sellers, and certain things go in and out, and right now this is one of the things that we have that's come back in. Style. So for the most part, properties for rent is pretty self-explanatory, but how do you find them? Alright, one of the main ways is driving for dollars. You're going to want to look for like people who have the little cheap Home Depot for rent signs, because those are the people who do not have the money to pay a real estate agent or to do anything else that really needs to get their property for rent. So they're kind of generally they're in a bind. Using Craigslist.org, you're going to have to really hone down to a little niche and focus on people who are relisting and really haven't been able to get their properties for rent. Newspaper listings are a great way to just pull phone numbers and use one of the strategies that we'll talk about later. And then rental websites. Rental websites have become really popular within the last 5 years, and they're another source of locating properties for rent. We don't use those, but I have heard of other investors who have used those. Alright, so essentially, how do you make money out of them? There's 5 different ways. The first one we don't use, but I know other investors who are using it, which are lease option deals. Let's say they're struggling to rent the property for $1,000 a month. They may be willing just to get some money in the door. They may be willing to take $500, $600, $700 if they're motivated. So and they're going to get rid of the house within a year or two. So you're going to turn around and flip that over and rent it for either $100 to $300 more than your monthly lease payment to the landlord is, as well as you're going to ask for an upfront fee and a back end fee. That's pretty much how lease option deals work. I prefer the latter 4, which is subject to deals, owner financing, especially if you have a landlord who purchased their property prior to 2004. Subject to owner financing are great solutions to really get in with no cash out of your pocket. Direct purchase is still a popular way that we purchase properties from frustrated landlords. It's one of our favorite ways to do it, and as well as real estate options, which we started picking up really this year a lot more, because we're buying our own leads. A lot of my cash buyers, we're not wholesaling as many to them, and they're pretty frustrated. So what we'll do is if simply negotiate and say, hey, I've got a couple of buyers who really want this neighborhood really, really badly. What's the absolute minimum amount that you would take if we're able to close? If they're able to close in 7 days or less, and just simply be quiet. And they're going to give you a number. And then you can work that number down further, but just say, or you can get off the phone to say and act like you're presenting it to somebody, and get the number a little bit lower, and then get a cheap real estate option for $10. Option contract for 3 to 7 days, saying, hey, I'm gonna shop this to my buyers, and and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get you this amount, and then shop it to your buyers. In this market, cash buyers want deals. If a deal doesn't meet mail, this is a great way to see how to test the waters for just $10 to see if you have a buyer out there who's willing to bite. So go ahead and use that strategy. Highly suggest it in this market because buyers are hungry. Bottom line, in order to effectively make this work, you want to create a system, because time is money. You don't want to spend a lot of time. So hire a contract from odesk.com to locate the leads. Odesk is really cheap. I've got really quality guys who I'm paying 50 cents an hour to locate, to go ahead pulling stuff from US websites. Use a phone blast system like cal8.com or slidedial.com to leave a message with the landlord. I like to leave the message directly with the landlord without them necessarily knowing I'm leaving a message, and it allows them, if they're interested, to call me back, and then I know I have a motivated lead disguised as a landlord. Okay, so if you enjoyed this marketing minute, definitely you want to join the Prime Investors Network at DC Metro Real Estate Deals.com/deals.